Hi there, and welcome to your fourth Spreadsheet Life Excel challenge. In this video, I will be asking you 4 questions from easy to hard to test your knowledge about text functions in Excel. As with all of these videos, you can find a link to download the spreadsheet in the description below. That way you can attempt each question before you watch me do it. If this sounds like fun to you, then let's get to it. Okie dokie. For question number 1, your task is to write a formula to get the first name from each full name in the list. To do this, start by selecting the cell next to the first full name and enter the formula equals text before function, and for the first argument, select the text. Now for the second argument, you want to enter in a space in quotes because you want all of the text that comes before the space in the full name, which is of course the first name. You can then close parentheses and hit enter. You get back the first name, and you can now double click on the fill handle to copy the formula down for all of the other names in the list. And that officially completes question number 1. Let's move on to question number 2. For question number 2, your goal is to write a formula to get the last name this time from each full name. To pull this off, start by selecting the cell next to the first full name and enter the formula equals text after function, and for the first argument, select the text, and then for the second argument, enter a space as the delimiter. And now for the third argument, enter a -1. After the -1, you can close parentheses and hit enter. The -1 forces the text after function to look for the specified delimiter, which in this case is a space, from the right side of the selected text. The text after function will then return all of the text that comes after the delimiter that it finds. So in this case, it will find the first space from the right of the selected text, and then return all of the text after that space, which gives you back the last name. You can now double-click the fill handle to copy the formula down for the remaining names in the list. Awesome. That completes question 2. So let's move on to question 3. For question 3, you must write a formula to generate the full name for each person using the first, middle, and last names listed in columns B, C, and D. To begin, select cell E5 and enter the following formula. Equals text join function, and for the first argument, you want to specify the delimiter or text value that you want to go in between each of the text values that you will combine together. In this case, you want each part of the full name separated by a space, so enter in a space in quotation marks for the first argument. Now for the second argument, enter in the value of true. As you can see from the data, some of the records include a middle name and some do not. You don't want any extra spaces coming from those empty cells. So you make the second argument true to have the text join function ignore the empty cells when combining the text. And finally, for the third argument, select the range of cells containing the first, middle, and last names. The text join function will take the text in these cells and combine it all together, separated by a delimiter chosen for the first argument. You can then close parentheses and hit enter. And to finish up, double-click on the fill handle to copy the formula down for all of the other names. And that completes question number 3. Let's move on to our final question for this challenge. For question number 4, your goal is to combine the title and last name for each person in the list. Now you must also replace the title of doctor with the abbreviated version. So, to solve question 4, start by selecting cell D5, then enter the formula, equals, concat function, and then the substitute function. For the first argument of the substitute function, select cell B5. Then, for the second argument, enter the text that you want to replace which in this case is the word doctor. And for the third argument, enter in the text that you want to do the replacing, which in this case is the abbreviation of doctor, DR, period. You can then close parentheses to complete the substitute function. Now for the second argument of the concat function, enter in a space in quotes. And then for the last argument, select cell C5, close parentheses, and hit enter. You can then double-click on the fill handle to copy the formula down for each name in the list. The concat function combines the title text, the space, and the last name, and the substitute function replaces any instance of doctor with the abbreviated version. And that officially completes the final question for Excel Challenge number 4. So tell me, how did it go? Did you find these questions to be pretty easy, or were they rather difficult? Leave me a comment below and let me know how you did. I would really like to know. Also, if you enjoy learning Excel through hands-on application and practice, then you should really check out my Excel Total course. The whole idea is that you learn by doing. That way, you remember everything you learn for a lifetime. That being said, if you feel that you got some value out of this video, I really encourage you to like and subscribe, and until next time, I will see you in the next Spreadsheet Life video.